Welcome to another episode. We are your hosts. I'm Sean Calhoun.
And I'm Christina Calhoun.
And today we're going to be talking about a subject that touches on every single real estate agent. And that is, you're going to hear this, and that is, hey, I'm already working with an agent. So what do you do when this situation comes up? We're going to get into it, but before we do that, Christina, how would someone get in touch with us?
Well, you would get in touch with us by going to our website, prettyhomeacademy.com.
That's right. And just to let you know, we are the co-founders of Pretty Home Realty and prettyhomeacademy.com. So there you'll find a bunch of tips, videos like this that's going to help you make more money, more sales. And also, if you're looking to buy or sell, you'll actually understand more about real estate, some things maybe you should do and shouldn't do. Okay. Well, let's get right into it. What are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about something that comes up often. So you get a new lead and they mention, oh, I'm already working with an agent. What do you say?
Yeah. So there's a couple of things. So the first thing that you need to think about is just because a person says, for example, they may say, well, the first thing I want to just say is don't count yourself out. That's number one, your own mentality. If they say I'm working with another agent, or my cousin is an agent, or my sister, my spouse is an agent, right? Maybe my brother, don't count yourself out. Now, there's a couple of reasons why you shouldn't count yourself out. Give me a couple of examples, Christina.
Well, this doesn't necessarily mean that they won't work with you. Because honestly, if their relative is an agent, that doesn't necessarily mean that they treat them like a priority. Mm-hmm. It could be that their relative or friend has another full-time job. So they might only be available.
That's right.
Every other weekend to show some houses, or, when they get off work.
Right. So what's an example of this that maybe happened to us recently? We have a couple.
We do. So we had a lead come in and they were looking to buy a house. And they said that they had already seen some homes with their coworker, who is a real estate agent. Mm-hmm. And she was a nurse. They both were nurses. And if you know anything about being a nurse, you don't have a lot of extra time on your schedule. And she kept missing houses. She's like, by the time we go see them, they're already gone.
Yeah. So actually, what happened was with that particular one, we actually ended up still working with that client and helping her purchase a house in Beverly Hills, a beautiful home for their family. Mm-hmm. So just because they say they have a coworker or something, don't count yourself out. Now, we also had another example recently of a real estate agent that lives out of state, wanted to buy a property here, and his brother is actually a real estate agent locally, actually very close nearby city to us. And so he wanted to write the offer up with us, which we did. And then we actually got to meet his brother, who was an agent. His brother did the inspection for us. And it was really cool having a good conversation with him and everything. But the reality was his brother still didn't write up the offer. We did, even though he disclosed that information to us. So just the number one thing is don't count yourself out at the beginning. Do not count yourself out, because that if you do that, obviously it's going to affect your income right now and in the future, like for years to come, because again, we work for referrals, right? So that's the first point to consider, right? Don't count yourself out, no matter if they do have a coworker, friend, spouse, or whatever. But then that kind of brings us to our second point. Okay, we're not counting ourselves out, but what do we do then? We have that mentality. And I want to read something to you. This is actually an ancient proverb, and I try to keep this in my mind. We have to tell ourselves this sometime, but it's pretty cool. It says, have you seen a man skilled at his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before common men. So, what are the takeaways from that ancient proverb? Two things: skills and working hard. Okay? That's how we're going to uh, go ahead and get these offers or get this business, even if another person has an agent that they're working with. Okay, so let's talk about the skills part, and then we'll talk about the work part. So as far as skills, um, we are in the field of sales. Part of what we do is sales. So in sales, what you say will determine the outcome of what happens. Okay. What you say has a heavy weight on the outcome, I should say. So, as far as the skill set, this is something that you might want to say to, let's just say, for example, a buyer. If someone says, hey, Christina, um, I saw this house, and you're like, okay, I can set up the showing for you, blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh, I'm already working with an agent. Well, before I ask you that, I just want to qualify a couple things. First of all, um, the common public is not always trained as to knowing if they're working with the agent or not. Have they signed a contract? Have they told them their personal business? Were they already pre-approved? Did they get pre-approved with them? Like there's so many moving parts to that. Um, they may be working with them, and it might be legit, or they may not be working with them. But either way, this is the best thing we have found so far. And if you implement this, you will see the same results. Okay. So I'm going to go back. Christina, hey, I saw this beautiful home and I really want you to show it to me. Oh, by the way, I forgot. I'm working with someone. I have an agent.
Okay, great. And I would encourage you that if they're giving you good service, you should keep working with them, because we're not in the habit of stealing other people's clients. But as you know, not all relationships work out. In fact, there's a high percentage of marriages that fail, 50%. So if things don't work out, I'll follow up with you in a week or so and make sure that you are getting the service you deserve and that you're a priority. And I'll send you some homes even if we don't end up working together on this one.
Okay. Wow. That is so strong. That is so strong. Now we're going to break this down just a little bit for you. Okay. Number one, we told the truth. We are not into stealing clients. And if they're happy with them, they should work with them. That's number one. That's number two. Then we went into the second part. The second part is, this is the reality. This is what we know. Okay. I've been selling real estate, Christina and I, well over 20 years experience. And we have a team of agents that continue to bring experience. We know that agents do not always, there may not be a good fit relationship wise, communication skills, timing, they may get busy. It just doesn't always work out. Like, that is the reality of the matter, just like any other relationship. So when we bring that to their attention, we use that illustration. Now they understand why we will be following up, and we give them the benefit. The benefit is so that they get the best service. Okay. That's what they want. They want good service. They want to be able to get that house, right? So that's what we're doing. And Then at the end, did you see what Christina did? She slipped in the law of reciprocity. Reciprocity. That is, she's going to do something regardless of the outcome. And we really mean that. So that's something that you're going to have to come to grips with. You may be working and you may get nothing out of that. And that's okay. Okay. There's an unbreakable law of reaping and sowing. It's unbreakable, just like gravity. So do it. Okay. So have we ever done this before?
We have.
Plenty of times.
We were actually showing a property and someone came and wanted to see the same property and mentioned that to us. Oh, I'm already working with an agent. So we said the same line about, well, if you're happy with them, then you should keep working with them because we don't steal people's clients. But we handled it in such a professional way that a year later, that same person who didn't end up buying with us referred their niece to us. They said that they had kept us as their contact and they remembered how we were professional and that they appreciated the level of service that we could provide. So they referred their niece to us.
Yeah.
So even though we didn't work with that person directly, they referred someone to us.
And she did buy a house with someone else, the first person. They
Mhm.
bought a home with someone else. But again, they didn't refer their niece to that person.
Right.
They referred them to us.
Mhm.
So that's why we said it will determine now and your future. Okay. So we have a lot more tips. Again, we broke down skill and work. So if you go to Pretty Home Academy, you can get more resources there to sharpen your skills. And then also, we have a brokerage, Pretty Home Realty. We have a great work ethic. We'll show you some different things that you can do to increase your work as well. And that's going to help you as well. Accountability, a bunch of other good things. We hope that you've got some value from this. We want to deliver the real deal. This is what we use, daily. This is what we train. As a matter of fact, this is a real training for our agents that we're tying everybody into so you can benefit as well. So if you enjoy it, make sure you hit the like, make sure you subscribe, go to Pretty Home Academy, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching.